Moving freely, a Ukrainian tank blasted a Russian fighting vehicle from 100 feet away. The skirmish in Chasiv Yar underscored Ukraine's tank advantage. 10 months after first attacking Chasiv Yar, a fortress town in eastern Ukraine, Russian troops have finally managed to advance, at times only briefly, into the town's central district. The Ukrainian 24th Mechanized Brigade and adjacent units aren't making it easy for them. Taking advantage of Ukraine's newfound tank advantage, the 24th Mechanized has engaged infiltrating Russian paratroopers at point-blank range.
Вот в этом доме на втором этаже было движение. Да.
On or before Jan. 18. A Russian assault drawn from one of the 3 air assault and airborne regiments arrayed east of Chasiv Yar made a run into the ruins of the town center, which has absorbed relentless Russian bombardments since last spring. The Russians and their 2 BMD-4 infantry fighting vehicles came to a bad end. Ukrainian infantry hit 1 BMD with a rocket-propelled grenade, apparently destroying it. The surviving BMD was helpless to resist when one of the 24th Mechanized Brigade's T-72 tanks rolled right up to it and blasted it with a 125mm tank round from just 100 feet away. It would have been unusual earlier in the war for a Ukrainian tank to fight that close. But the battlefield of Russia's 35-month wider war on Ukraine is changing in ways that favor Ukrainian armored forces, even as Russian troops, who outnumber Ukrainian troops, continue to slowly advance, albeit at enormous cost. The sheer number of Ukrainian drones hovering over the 800-mile front line, tens of thousands arrive at the front every month, means Russian tanks can only operate from covered positions, one Russian blogger complained. That doesn't mean the Ukrainians are winning every battle, or the Russians are losing. Russian regiments might be loath to risk their remaining tanks, but they clearly feel no such qualms when it comes to risking the less powerful BMD fighting vehicles and their infantry passengers. Not every Russian assault group comes to grief at the receiving end of a Ukrainian tank firing from 100 feet away. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces fighting around Velyka Novosilka claim its Russian takeover will amount to nothing more than a flag-raising exercise. Russia has claimed to have captured another key Ukrainian town as it looks to consolidate gains ahead of potential peace talks pushed by Donald Trump. After months of heavy fighting, Russian forces claimed control of the town of Velyka Novosilka in the eastern Ukrainian region of Donetsk on Monday. The town is small, with a pre-war population of only 5,000, but it has served as a key assembly area for offensive and defensive Ukrainian operations in the wider area. It is the second significant town in Donetsk to fall to the Russians this month, after Moscow claimed control of Kurakov, roughly 20 miles to the northeast. The city of Toretsk, further north, has also been almost completely occupied. Its fall appears inevitable. Russian forces have been steadily advancing in eastern Ukraine for months in an attack that has centered on the city of Pokrovsk, a linchpin of the wider Donetsk region's defense. Ukraine's general staff said there had been 85 Russian attacks on Monday in that direction. Taking advantage of a Ukrainian shortage in manpower, Russian forces have advanced around 30 miles from the city of Avdiivka, which they took last February, towards the outskirts of Pokrovsk. A wider attack has engulfed Kurakovi to the south, Velyka Novosilka further south, and Toretsk and Chasiv Yar to the north. It has proved costly in terms of personnel. Western estimates suggest the Russian military is suffering more than 1,000 casualties a day. The total number of wounded and killed could top 1 million before the end of 25. The advances are nonetheless concerning for Ukraine. Whatever Russia seizes before any negotiations take place might end up more permanently in Moscow's control if the front line is frozen. The capture of Velyka Novosilka is emblematic of the wider problem facing Ukraine, namely a shortage of personnel and weapons. But Ukraine's 110th Brigade, which has been fighting in the town, described the Russian takeover as mainly a flag-raising exercise.